There is a film that released very successfully sometime back known as Jannat. And quite unfortunately, we had someone suing on the film, on the script of the film, saying that, sorry, this was my script, the producers stole the script. This was the allegation made in the court. So, the question is, was he engaged? Was he really, is it really that script that has been taken away? What is the risk of this? The risk of this interpretation was that today, if there was a concept where there was an informer, and that informer then becomes someone relevant in the police, you can't have monopolization of a concept. Which means if you allow everybody to stand up and say, hey, sorry, this is a love story, it's a love triangle, but I've written it. There can't be a monopoly in that love story or that love triangle. As far as Jannat was concerned, actually speaking, and that's what we did, we told the judges, please review the film and compare it to the script and tell us whether you think that this is actually a copy. Because first of all, we didn't engage this author. We did not pay him any money, so therefore he was not engaged in the first instance. He has got up and said that this is my script. How do I protect it? The only test of infringement then was to actually see whether this could lead to an interpretation that every story could then be monopolized, and therefore you could, expression of that idea can't be different. Now this is where I'm saying that there is an evolution of the law, there is an evolution of the business. Now, very recently, a lot of the film titles, we've done almost 30 or 40 films where the titles of the films went into litigation. One of the films that we did for Percept was Jail. Quite interestingly, somebody had sued Percept, and that is us, on the title of the film. We were able to distinguish because we had sought a registration under trademark law for that film. And we were able to show with evidence to see that, this name was already registered by us. This name is not in the public domain in that sense, but we had sought intellectual property protection for it, and therefore we were able to succeed. Again, the point I'm making is, this is the relevance of intellectual property in today's world. So you see title litigation, a host of films today, and a host of television shows that take place. A lot of people have now started recognizing the need to register the titles of their film or of their television show. Because if you don't do that, you're going to have somebody else get up and say that, sorry, this is a title that belongs to me, because they associate the title with me. So title litigation is quite rampant. The second category of litigation that we see, and the recognition of intellectual property, again, is, like I told you in the Jannat 2 case, is the authorship issues, where a lot of people claim that, look, we own the script. You need to be mindful of the fact that whenever you engage an author, if you engage him under a contract of service, which means if you ask somebody to make a script for you, you want to ensure that the ownership of that script belongs to you if you are actually the owner of that script. So that is what needs to happen. Now this is, again, a form of litigation that takes place. Brand litigation, and what is technology doing towards branding and personality rights. You see, one of the things that we are now sort of moving towards under our law is recognition of a personality, which means, I can't say that, look, the way Shailendra and Harinder talk, that has a trademark in itself. But there are certain actors, there are certain artists whose voice is extremely important, whose voice can be then impersonated for something else. We have now tried to actually build up a case where we are saying that that would amount to common law defamation, which means today if you misuse and impersonate somebody else's voice, that ain't going to happen, because that's not something that you can very readily do, and that is not fair use in that sense. So this also is an evolution by itself. India is recognizing this, because ultimately a lot of what happened to Rajesh Khanna. Today, a lot of expression of that idea can't be different. Now, this is where I'm saying that there is an evolution of the law, there is an evolution of the business.